I got the recording, but all right, what's the argument?
Bro, what's your argument, bro? Because that's what I'm
No,
actually.
y'all can go
Your
ahead and state
argument, I
why
guess.
you think. Oh my God, don't Doug. I already asked you. Please don't start this.
We
Why do
already
you
know.
think?
We already know what we believe
Why do
in,
you think Merelona is above Yami?
bro. She literally transcends better magic than him, and then she fights a paladin by herself and then wins when she's in her true magic state. I don't think Yami has any scaling to a paladin yet.
Okay, so you're saying that this said paladin skills, where you're saying that she transcends magic.
She
Could
she
you show me
transcends she
that?
transcends regular spells. She becomes mana itself and then functionally successful
Wait, he
magic.
can wait. Yeah, wait. He can cut mana itself.
Where are you getting that from?
He can cut anything with his darkness magic.
Yeah, anything referencing what? Because nothing exists that's pure mana yet in the series when they get into Dimension Slash.
Wait, yes, it did. The possibility exists in the statement.
No, bro.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish the argument, right? Okay, so when you're saying anything, it could. What I'm saying, it could be the case that the possibility that this thing. Actually, no, I don't think it was the case that the possibility of the said pool mana being able to exist within the series. But I'm just saying, off the statement that he can cut anything, it's still more likely true given the fact that mangas affirm true propositions rather than
You're
not.
referencing Dimension Slash?
I'm just referencing the statement that says you could cut anything.
Okay,
I'm
so
ratting a little bit.
what's the statement, bro? Because if it's Dimension Slash, it doesn't matter because when she becomes pure mana, she becomes non-physical. Like physically, you can't
Wait,
interact
but
with
he said he can cut. Wait, if it says anything, non-physical things would still be exist within there. It'd still be encompassed
That
by.
depends if they interpret anything as non-physical being a thing to even have the properties of being cut in the first place.
Wait, but if you try to interpret it as some different type of interpretation, not going off like the regular denotation, is just less likely off of like normative usage and just like how we understand language. Like it's gonna be. I mean, not
Oh,
under how we
it's
explain
not.
language. That doesn't make sense. No, it's less likely used.
Yeah,
We use
I know
like
what you're talking about. You're saying the
normally we use.
denotation,
Yeah,
blah,
I'm
blah, blah.
talking about
You're saying the
you. So like
denotation
when
would
we say
imply the
anything,
argument.
we say
Bro, okay, so
anything.
we do this all the time, bro. You're saying the denotation would imply the argument that this would be a thing included under the claim that anything he can cut. I mean, he can cut anything, but that depends on whether or
Yes.
not that's contingent on whether or not that thing can have the properties and the consequence of being cut. When is non-physical?
Oh.
Yeah, when is
Oh yeah.
something non-physical has ever had the properties of being cut before?
I mean, it could happen. It's
No,
logically
no. Okay,
possible.
no. Explain why that's logically the case. What's the definition of cut?
Okay, so cut. Okay, so cut. It would just be the separating of like said like properties.
Okay, yeah. How do you separate something that physically does not have properties?
You would just separate the non-physical property.
Yeah, how is that the case? Give me an example.
How? I don't really have to
Yeah,
explain
yeah.
how as long
What
as there's no
property
true
could be split?
contradiction.
Because
Wait,
when
wait,
you're
hold
referencing
on.
cutting,
Okay,
when
so
you're
that's not
referencing,
how you already
Official,
when
framed
you're
it.
you
That's
referencing
already
cutting,
lost, nigga. What the fuck?
no, I didn't, nigga. Shut up.
Bro.
bro. Like, oh my god, bro. To split something, right? You imply it has a property, sure. But what's in question is whether or not that property is since a physical or non-physical level. For that to be the case, if something is possible, you can give an analogy exemplifying what it's possible as. It just doesn't have to be synthetically true. What's
Wait,
an
hold
example
on.
which that's the case?
Okay, so first off, as long as we identify the fact that not going to be some sort of like contradiction of identity, right? A law of excluded middle, non-contradiction. I can affirm that this thing is logically possible to happen, right? So the cutting of this thing, I'm pretty sure I could argue. I'm pretty sure I could give you instances of this thing actually happening in other fictions external to like the narrative, right? I don't think the author is going to propose for us some sort of like omnipotent being, anyways, right? Off of like off of current scaling anyway. It would just be like stupid to assume that she would just be like this unbeatable. So I think definitely there's going to be some sort of damage that's going to be able to be done to her, right? So that's
No,
also a reason to believe. Wait,
it
hold on.
proves
So
that's something
that's
contextual.
also a reason to believe, right, that this cutting anything statement would just like map onto like reality in the series in the way that I affirm. So yeah.
Okay, bro, I don't care whether or not who makes the statement. The whole point is that the statement can be apt in either way in which you interpret it, as long as it's in an apt way to where the properties is applicable to the thing. So
So
yeah,
do you
sure.
want to
Wait,
argue?
hold
Wait,
on,
can we
pause.
argue upon
Wait,
the
hold on,
likelihood
wait,
of
yeah,
our
pause.
interpretations then?
Anyway, pause. Anyway, yes, you can argue that something is logically possible if it doesn't contradict the three laws of thought. But one of those is the law of identity by saying A equals A. For that to happen, to say the two things are mutually inclusive, that means the fundamental
Wait,
essence
that
of
would
A.
just presuppose that non-physical properties cannot be cut. I think
Okay,
they can be cut.
okay, yeah, okay, exactly. So then what that gets into is that for your argument to work, for that to be logically possible, we have to exemplify the
Yeah.
property.
Okay. So
Well, okay,
theories.
hold on,
So
I'm not
there's
finished.
different.
I'm
Yeah.
not finished. Yeah, okay, so you would have to exemplify that the definition, the normative usage of cut is going to be used in a way where it refers to a non-physical manner. I asked you, can you give me an example of something non-physical being split? You don't do that. I asked you to give me an example of it
Hold
being
on,
normative.
hold on, no. You just like made a bunch of claims. So all I would really have to do, right, was just like I really would have to map cut onto what's name this said way that you would constitute it, unless it was like necessarily the case that it couldn't happen under some sort of like non-physical way, which I feel like that's just like a question back, right?
Not,
But as far as like how I define cut was just like splitting of like properties in the said thing. So if this non-physical thing has multiple properties, it
prove
can
that's
be
the
split
denotation.
into it. Yeah. It
Yeah,
would just be like unified in a sense. You said what?
prove that's the denotation.
Prove that I don't need to prove it's a denotation.
Yeah, and your first initial claim was the fact that was so redundant to say. Your initial
The
claim was the fact
splitting of
that
properties. Hold on. The splitting of properties
hold on.
doesn't necessarily.
Your
Oh my
first
god.
argument was that the denotation is going to follow the idea of it being possible that it's cut, but you don't give the denotation. You just give your definition that's mutually inclusive with the
What
denotation.
do you think cut? What do you think cut refers to?
I think cut usually refers to physical things. I don't know if you can even give an example of it referring to a non-physical thing that would actually make
Okay,
sense.
but what necessarily implies that it cannot map onto non-physical things?
What implies that it necessarily cannot map onto non-physical things?
Yeah.
Okay, so then what? That depends on the definition, right? So then, what's the
It
definition that?
depends. Oh, oh my god. Oh my god. So you, if there's no contradiction with this thing mapping on like
Yeah, that's
non-physical
fine if
things,
it's the
yes,
if,
you
but I'm
can just
asking what's the
affirm that
definition.
this thing can cut non-physical
Okay, bro.
things.
Okay, that's fine.
Wait,
Okay,
Okay,
what,
cool,
what,
cool,
a,
cool.
what
If
a
you can,
minute, what a
if
minute,
I
what a
can get the
minute.
hold on. Okay,
definition,
that's fine.
Wait,
Here's the
wait,
definition, bro.
wait,
We can just read up, bro. Move,
Tensei. Can we
please
stop?
be quiet.
So what's the argument?
Move,
What's your
okay, bro. Anyway, we can read out the definition of cut. Okay, it's like really simple. This is literally your argument,
make
but
an opening
okay,
incision, a
okay,
strong
yeah. Make an
blow,
opening, comma, incision,
divide
or
into
wound.
pieces. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
divide into pieces. Yeah, that follows under what I'm saying.
Okay,
Splitting of properties,
do you know
dividing. Yeah, that's just inclusive.
divide
So
into
yeah,
pieces?
it follows under what I'm
Okay,
saying.
yeah.
Mhm.
Divide means to separate into parts. What are their parts of a?
what's the argument, nigga?
Oh my god.
What parts of a concept can be divided? Right,
What
because
parts of well the kind in Black Clover that exists, we
let's
don't
just make
fully have like understanding of it, but we know that the possibility of exists of it being cut because there's not a true contradiction. So I don't think I'd
okay,
have to
no,
explain that.
consistently, yeah.
Anyways, 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 anyways,
No, wait,
anyways,
there's no
anyways,
anyways. You just begged
anyways,
the question.
I didn't beg the question.
Yes, you did.
No, I
I
didn't. Okay, so
the
how did I
question
beg
is
the
whether.
question?
Okay, yeah. So what's in question is whether or not Black Clover
Yo,
is going
bro,
to.
what are they
But,
arguing, bro?
bro, hold it. Oh my gosh, please be quiet. The argument is going
Shut
to
up,
be whether or not. Do you want to get muted again?
I'm
Okay.
not even.
nigga.
Who is he
No,
talking to?
I'm talking about
Oh,
bias. He's such a retard. Yeah. Okay. So
Nigga, you're a dumbass.
okay. Anyways, you're F tier. Hold on. Let me mute this man because I don't even have safety in mind talking when you can see. Yeah, so then the argument is going to be that Black Clover, when they say cut anything, is going to be exemplifying a thing literally as something non-physical, but that's going to be contingent upon whether or not they usually define something to have the properties of being cut or being wounded
uh-uh.
as going to be something non-physical. So then when I ask you
That
to
is so dumb.
wait,
That is
hold up,
so
pause.
dumb.
When
Okay,
I
hold
ask
on.
you to
That is
exemplify
so
parts
dumb.
being separated and it being open, which open literally is physically impossible by the
This is
definition of
the
open in
dumbest shit
concept,
ever.
then that's just
Okay.
going to beg the question because you're already using the example of what's in question, aka Black Clover. Right. The whole point is that you're going to have to show it's either normatively the case or by denotation. You haven't done that. You
No,
just
no,
make
no. Okay, actually, no. Yes, I did. Okay, so we got into like cutting. It just said dividing into pieces. When you cut something, you're dividing the said thing. What's name? So I said that would be inclusive under my definition and how they could map it onto there. Then you said anything in reference to like how they would have to normatively use the said thing in Black Clover. I deny that. Right? The author can just provide some sort of way to explain what they mean by the said thing, just using like the normal syntax, right, and stuff like that, like they do in other series. All right, and then we would just go off of like the livelihood of the said things and context of the scan. So that was just really stupid. So anything, right? It's just gonna add set onto things. That's a conjunction of the word, right? So if they're saying any said thing, non-physical things are a thing that exists inside of a Black Clover. He can cut anything. It's like it's pretty simple. It's pretty simple right there. So yeah, I gave the justification. We already go down to like the true contradiction.
Okay.
You'd have to presuppose that non-physical things don't have properties that they cannot be divided
okay, bro, you're
into,
repeating
right? I don't know where you got. I don't know
yourself.
where you got.
Okay, you're repeating yourself. First things first, the definition of thing has multiple denotations. One of the main denotations, I think, if not all the main denotations, is referencing a material object, something that non-physical is purposely contrary to. So even I wanted to take the definition
That's just
literally.
a presupposition.
It's not a presupposition, it's in the dictionary. Do I have to read it out to you?
Hold on, am I lagging? Oh, hold on, my phone's at 4G. Hold on. I need to put on Wi-Fi.
This nigga's cat.
No, my phone's I need to connect to the Wi-Fi.
Okay, yeah, and I wasn't finished anyway. You keep repeating yourself. So then the whole point is that if I do take the definition hyperliterally, which is going to refer to any noun, you can only refer to any noun which is mutually inclusive or logically possible with the statement. If I were to say the
Wait, hold
statement,
on, restate the argument.
I'm not gonna restate the argument.
No, you said something about nouns. Wait,
Uh,
we have to get
I said
clear on
any,
that, right?
but yeah, I'm pretty sure this is really simple. We already went over this. Anything is going to be referenced to any possible noun. Now, if I were to say that a claim is truth apt and it references the
Why?
quantifier, if I was going to say a statement is truth apt,
Wait,
and then
why?
okay, bro. Anyways, I'm gonna finish my argument. If I'm going to say the statement is truth apt, right, and I use the quantifier anything, that would necessitate the claim made about the quantifier is going to have to be mutually inclusive. Therefore, that noun is going to have the properties that I'm assigning to it be the subject of the definition. So if I say I can destroy anything, I can only destroy what is a thing, and the thing can only have the property being destroyed. Something that never existed and it can even be comprehended, can't be comprehended in that. Although you can still argue to now. So it doesn't matter. And unless I need to send a definition, I'll do it. It's like really simple.
So basically, you're saying that just because this thing can map onto nouns, you're saying that
Hold
it
up.
cannot map onto adjectives. Is that what you just said?
Stream volume? Oh my god, I
Hey,
didn't even
but
need to answer the stream volume.
Just
bias, go back.
restate the
What
argument.
were you saying? I didn't listen. I
So
definitely.
just give P1. Just give P1.
I'm not repeating myself. You can either just try to
What?
remember and use like actually at least 5% of your brain, or you can just move on.
Yeah, this nigga's fucking crazy as fuck. Okay, so you said something about adjectives, noun. Then you said like something like, oh, anything cannot map onto non-physical things because it's an adjective. Did you say something like that or some shit like that? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck you said.
You mean like as I use those words? Yes. In that order? Definitely not.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck you said.
Yeah, I know because you
Anyway,
can't.
Yo, official, what y'all arguing, nigga?
He's saying
we
that
were just
Yami
talking. I
can
was
cut
saying not. I
anything
was
that
saying
leaves
Yami beat
Merelona.
Merelona.
Yeah, he's saying
No,
Yami.
fuck no.
I asked him to send the
Wait,
statement.
hold on. They don't. They haven't been able to give an argument though.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
literally
thing.
gave him.
But yeah, the reason why,
Wait.
like, yo,
Even if we go to this point, I don't think this even. I don't
official,
even think
wait,
this. No,
official,
hold
I
on.
got
You
a
grant
question for
non-physical
you,
interaction is possible.
official,
Can
I
we
got
do
a
the tier
question for
list, bro?
you. Do you believe invisible, where is he going? Do you believe invisible concepts are,
Y'all going with them?
Alright, can we do the tier list, bro? Like,
Yes.
alright,
He's such a troll.
bro, we just wasted a bunch of time, bro. Like,
I said a thing by denotation